WNDU TV, Channel 16, South Bend. NewsCenter 16, with Mike Collins and Maureen McFadden. Weather with Dick Addis and Jeff Jeffers with sports.
Traffic fatalities claim the lives of two men in LaPorte today. 19-year-old John Roseberry of Valparaiso is dead following a two-vehicle accident on US 421 near the LaPorte County landfill.
Now, according to police, Roseberry was driving northbound when he lost control of his car and crossed the center line. He was struck head-on by a semi-tractor trailer. The driver of the trailer was not hurt. Alcohol was not a cause in that accident, but it was a factor in another accident in LaPorte. 73-year-old Glendon Morse of North Liberty died late this afternoon after injuries he sustained while driving drunk. Witnesses say Morse was driving east on State Road 4. They say he was weaving back and forth across the road when he broke through a guardrail, then ran into a concrete wall. Police say his alcohol level was nearly 3 times the legal limit, and he wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Morse died at LaPorte Hospital of massive internal injuries.
A South Bend woman is being held on 2 counts of armed robbery at the Berrien County Jail. 29-year-old Carla Michelle Mincy was charged with a rash of robberies on Thanksgiving Day. Police say that Mincy robbed a gas station and flower shop in South Bend and later hit another gas station and drugstore in Niles. Mincy is being held on $50,000 bond for the 2 Michigan robberies. She will also face charges of robbery in South Bend.
A February 19th trial date awaits a South Bend man accused of child molesting. 46-year-old John Bliley faces 4 felony counts in connection with the alleged molestation of a middle school student. Bliley had a preliminary plea of not guilty entered on his behalf. During a court appearance today, the judge also issued a protective order barring Bliley from seeing the alleged victim. A formal filing of the charges today further led to Bliley's suspension without pay from his job as a teacher's aide in the South Bend school system. Bliley remains free on bond tonight.
The LaGrange County man accused of abducting his wife and daughter stood before a judge today. Ezra Miller will go to trial on April 16th on charges of burglary and criminal confinement. According to police, Miller took Elma and 9-year-old Annie from their LaGrange County home to have them deprogrammed of their religious beliefs. The 36-year-old Amishman reportedly wanted his wife to break away from a non-traditional Amish church that she'd gotten involved with. He allegedly took them to his parents' home in Mount Vernon, Illinois. A deprogrammer is said to have worked for 3 weeks trying to convince Elma Miller to leave the church. She finally escaped and her estranged husband was arrested. The judge today entered an innocent plea for Miller, whose bond was reduced from $1 million to $100,000. If convicted, he faces a maximum 23 years in prison and $20,000 fine.
The South Bend Common Council heard some words of criticism tonight from the Executive Director of Community Recycling. Ed Talley says that some recycling efforts, like the Goodwill recycling drop-off points, are being partially subsidized by the city while others are going unaided.
Community Recycling is not upset that the Goodwill program is being subsidized in part by the city. What it is upset with is the fact that even though we were turned down last week by the mayor for funding, we just found out that it's already in the budget for 91 at the tune of about $15,000 for the subsidy to continue.
Talley says he would like to see the city use what's known as landfill diversion credits. Under that system, agencies are paid the going rate for every ton of garbage they don't dump in a landfill. Other council businesses tonight included the passage of the 1991 budget for the city's utilities and parking garages. The council also appropriated $2.7 million from the Community Development Block Grant Fund to South Bend's Economic Development Department. Well, the 5 permanent members of the United Nations Security Council have reached a broad agreement on a U.S. proposed resolution that would authorize all necessary means to get Iraq out of Kuwait. New language says the Security Council is giving Iraq one final opportunity to get out. The deadline would be no later than January 15th.
President Bush is busy in Mexico for 2 days of talks with President Carlos Salinas de Gortari. Among other things, they're discussing the Gulf crisis. Frank Sesno has more on the president's trip.
President Bush, just back from Europe and the Persian Gulf, is in Mexico now to tend to the issues of this hemisphere.
Estira, aprieta y está derribando una redonda de buen lado.
President Salinas hosted Mr. Bush in his hometown of Agualeguas. The Two leaders are especially anxious to give a boost to an eventual free trade zone between the two countries. But the crisis in the Persian Gulf overshadows all other issues these days. The Bush administration is now focusing on the United Nations, where the Security Council this week will debate a resolution authorizing military force if Iraq doesn't withdraw from Kuwait by a specific date, most likely in January. White House spokesman Marlon Fitzwater says a time frame takes some of the uncertainty out of the situation. A senior administration official closely involved in Persian Gulf policy says Saddam Hussein hasn't taken the military threat seriously, despite the U.S. troop buildup. The resolution, this official says, would be a powerful signal that the threat is real and the international coalition is united. U.S. officials say they detect no softening of Saddam Hussein's position, but believe he will only look for a way out if he believes war is imminent. The UN resolution would ratchet up the pressure, but it could also paint the U.S. into a corner. The crisis was the subject of a panel discussion on Capitol Hill Monday.
If he's successful in getting Saddam Hussein to back off, I think he will turn out to be the world's hero. But if he's not, I'm afraid it's going to, like you gentlemen on the panel, it has catastrophic implications and may cost not only the presidency, but an enormous number of American lives.
President Bush, who visited 3 continents last week, whipping up support for his Gulf policy, has gone suddenly silent on the topic, preferring to let the attention shift to the UN. The Bush administration believes it already has legal authority to go to war in the Gulf if it so chooses. But with polls showing public support softening, presidential aides say a UN resolution would provide political insurance at home and abroad. Frank says no with the president, Monterrey, Mexico.
You've heard of blockbuster movies. Well, today there was a blockbuster of a movie deal. MCA, the owner of Universal Studios, was sold for more than $6 billion. And paying the ticket price was Matsushita, the Japanese electronic giant behind names like Panasonic. The deal is the biggest Japanese buyout in America. It puts Matsushita up against rival Sony, which owns Columbia Pictures. And ahead on News Center 16, it feels like a summer's night outside, but watch out. Dick says some wacky weather is coming our way.
And my, how times have changed. Heather Richards reports the Old Corner Tavern may never be the same, or at least this Old Corner Tavern in South Bend.
Good food is as much a part of the holiday tradition as gift giving. So when you want to say thanks to your friends and loved ones, consider a gift from Martin's. Martin's fruit baskets are always a treat, as are gift boxes with your choice of wines, cheeses, or deli meats. A canned or boneless ham or a turkey can make a special occasion all the more special. And Martin's gift certificates are great for stuffing stockings or last-minute needs. For delicious new ideas for holiday gift giving,
Martin's Supermarkets, count on us.
We could spend 30 seconds telling you why the 1991 Pontiac Grand Am is the #1 selling compact coupe in Michiana, but we'll let the Grand Am speak for itself. Priced at $98.79 with 33 miles per gallon highway, it's easy to see why Pontiac Grand Am outsells all competition. See our Michiana Pontiac dealer.
It's everything, from helping someone balance their checkbook to tying a bow on a blouse for a customer with a broken arm.
Partnership is our way of saying we're as dedicated to you as you are to managing your money.
I had a customer tell me once that he used to sweat every time he walked into a bank. My job means making sure that never happens again.
At First Source, we try to do even the little things right. That's what seems to surprise people the most.
Butternut honey wheat bread is baked from an especially delicious recipe because when you make your favorite sandwich, we know the bread better be just as tasty as what you put on it. Butternut honey wheat has a mild whole grain taste, a fresh soft texture, and no cholesterol. So no matter what you put in your favorite sandwich, remember, it'll taste even better on butternut honey wheat.
It's becoming increasingly popular these days for all kinds of businesses to offer a smoke-free atmosphere to customers. Surprisingly, the concept is even making headway on the nightclub scene. As Heather Richards reports, one of the few clubs in the country that caters to non-smokers is right here in Michiana.
I think it's a real nice place. It's really nice to go somewhere and sit down and you don't have all the smoke, you know, getting in your eyes and that type of thing, you know. I'm from Atlanta, and everywhere you go, there's all kinds of people, you know, smoking and everything like that. It's just nice, you know, not to have that.
It's wonderful. You walk out and you don't stink like smoke, and it smells nice.
Patrons of Basics, a new nightclub in South Bend that offers a smoke-free atmosphere to its customers, all say the same thing. They appreciate having an alternative. Basics owner Bill Watkins says he and a friend did quite a bit of research before deciding to make the new club a smoke-free endeavor. They found that on the average, only 20% of nightclub patrons were smokers. He says based on business and customer reaction, he feels he made the right decision.
It's been real interesting. Even the smokers enjoy it. As crazy as it sounds, they'll step outside, they'll have a cigarette, smoke their own brand, and come back in, enjoy the smoke-free atmosphere. They don't have to worry about their contacts, their eyes watering, being permeated with smoke. They love it.
Basics employees also benefit from not having constant billows of smoke in the air.
Yeah, especially when I'm here 5 nights a week and in a corner where the air just kind of circulates, and from previous experience, it's nice to be able to breathe and not constantly clean your glasses.
As far as he knows, Watkins says there's no other smokeless bar in the Midwest, and perhaps only a handful in the nation. But he says he thinks the no-smoking nightclub concept will gain rapid popularity and become a nationwide trend.
I think it's definitely moving in that direction. I think people are more aware now, health-wise. They're to a point where, you know, it's not that they aren't going to tolerate it, it's just that they know that it's not good for them, and you have a lot of reformed smokers out there equally as well that have a tough time with it, and we're moving in that direction.
Reporting from South Bend, Heather Richards, NewsCenter 16.
Announcing 91 Mercury Plus. They're here, the 91 Mercuries, plus $1,000 cash back on Grand Marquis with its traditional room and comfort. $750 cash back on Sable, available with ABS brakes. On Cougar with new V8 power, plus $500 cash back on Topaz. And on the new small car from Mercury, Tracer, the 1991 Mercuries. Plus cash back, plus save more with option package savings. See your Lincoln Mercury dealer today.
To all Highland competitors watching me, I have news for you. We're also watching you. Every day until Christmas, Highland is monitoring your prices. So should you attempt to go lower than Highland on any item, one of our undercover agents will see it, using perhaps a pair of these cuff cams. But then, of course, Highland will mark its prices down immediately. So you see, it's pointless to even try to beat Highland. Oh, the Thai class. Shortwave.
Highland. This Christmas, we're going to be impossible to beat.
Here at Chi-Chi's, we hear...
Give me a chimney.
A lot. But lately, we've been hearing...
Give me a chimney.
Even more. Because now when you say...
Give me a chimney. Give me a chimney.
You get our famous chimichanga, plus a chili con queso, and hot fudge sundae for just $7.45. So just say...
I'll have the chimichanga special, please.
What? There's one in every crowd.
Chi-Chi's, a celebration of...
Give me a chimney.
Food.
Whether your customers are cross-town or cross-country, one of the best ways to make them feel good about doing business with you is to follow up your sales with a personal call. Try it.
Hello. This is Amy's Pet Shop. Hope you like the pet you bought. Come back soon.
Who is this?
This is Amy's Pet Shop. How you doing, Bird Brain? Come back soon. This is Amy's Bird Brain. Hope you like the shop you bought. How you doing, sweetheart?
The follow-up call on GTE.
Well, our wacky weather does continue. Can you imagine? It's 64 degrees out there. We're going to pay the price sooner or later. Tomorrow, we see some big storms possible. Look at the gush of moisture coming up now from the Gulf of Mexico, a big storm complex over the country. Cold air on one side and warm, moist air on the other. So that means excitement, doesn't it? And speaking of things that are rather exciting, watch these clouds approach Michiana. Some of them a little southwest of us are containing rather heavy rain amounts. And up in the cooler air, we see some freezing rain. Then we see some snow, but the snow hasn't really hit the fan yet, at least around this general region. Let's take a look at it from a slightly different perspective and watch these towering clouds start tumbling toward our direction. Well, we're going to see some rainfall out of this, and speaking of rainfall, let's take a look at the rain that started showing up this afternoon on the South Bend Weather Service radar on the 120-mile range, scattered and light, but now it's starting to develop a little better now, at least heavier rain, light to moderate, occasionally a heavy cell, and it's scattered and it's generally moving in our direction. So we're going to see some rain tonight and tomorrow night. Now, as far as what's going on right now, it's merely cloudy out. Our temperature is 64, and that is the high of the day. That's about 18 degrees Celsius. Dew point shot way up, 56 degrees. So that means there's moisture in the atmosphere. The relative humidity is 75%. The barometer is falling at 29.73 inches, and the wind is picked up out of the south at 16 miles an hour. Our low of the day, 33 at 12:33 a.m. The high, 64 at 11 p.m., and we've had about 2/100ths of an inch of rain. Let's watch it on the overnight, at least as far as the way the clouds are starting to translate in our direction. A big complex of low pressure, the big storm, is certainly prevalent out to the west. And as we examine the precipitation echoes over the past day, we find them on the increase, particularly along that cold front, showers and thunderstorms, and then to the rear some snow that shows up a little better on our weather map. Not all that snow is too obvious on a radar scope, especially when you assemble all of them across the nation. This is the warm, moist airflow. This is a monster, large storm. And to the north of it in the cooler air, some freezing rain and some snow flying through the Rockies, some wind too. And it's cold up north and warm down south. What's going to happen tomorrow? This thing will translate up toward the northeast. More freezing rain, more snow out in the Rockies. And for us, we're thinking in terms of showers and possibly strong thunderstorms developing late tomorrow and through tomorrow night. Tonight's lows will be rising from the 60s, probably about steady, and then tomorrow's highs somewhere near 70 is possible. And our 5-day outlook says 42 is a normal high. 68 tomorrow and thunderstorms. Then the temperature starts to drop. But look at that. Thursday, 38 for a high. There could be a flake of snow in that forecast, too. Then the temperature tries to recover. But in the meantime, I think tomorrow could be a little exciting.
For names you know and prices that are low, get together with Spartan Stores. This week, white and assorted colors of cottony soft Cottonelle bath tissue are 99 cents. Get dishes clean down to the shine with Joy Liquid Dish Detergent, now 99 cents. And Banquet's cooking up ways to make your day easier, like assorted Banquet frozen dinners, just 99 cents each.
Together, we're Spartan Stores.
Michigan. Come and see my colors when I'm all in white.
Subway bakes my bread up fresh, and that's my way. My way. I get a combo seafood club the best way. My way. Subway. You make my sub in front of me. Just the way it ought to be. It's fresh, it's hot, I know I got it. My way, Subway, my way, Subway.
Come in today for a free holiday coupon booklet worth over $30 in savings at Subway.
The 1991 Plymouth Acclaim gives you a lot of advantages that Honda Accord doesn't. Like available seating for 6, a roomier back seat, more engine choices, available ABS brakes, and standard driver's airbag. On the practical side, Acclaim gets great mileage and costs $1,500 less. So, for just $188 a month, shouldn't you be looking at Plymouth Acclaim?
See your Northern Indiana Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
This is the way the Severe Storm Center feels about tomorrow, in a target zone for severe storms from Texas all the way up into Wisconsin and Michigan. Here's the local forecast. Tonight, cloudy, windy, and very mild for this time of year. Showers and thundershowers developing with steady temperatures. South winds at 15 to 25. Tomorrow, Cloudy, windy, and warm with a chance of showers and strong thunderstorms. High of 68, low tomorrow night 50. South winds at 25 to 35. Wednesday's outlook mostly cloudy and much cooler with a chance of rain and falling temperatures. Cloudy right now in 64.
Strange November.
It is.
It's going to be interesting in the weather office, I think.
Tomorrow afternoon could
Lots
be a zoo.
of fun. Okay.
All right, Richard, thanks. Well, at 89 years old, Ray Hunsberger had the distinction of being the oldest trucker in America, and he calls Michiana home.
But with today being his 90th birthday, Ray is turning in his keys. Deborah Dominy has the report.
For 72 years, Ray Hunsberger has been driving. He took up trucking when he retired as a farmer at 60. So for 30 years, he's been a licensed truck driver.
Well, there's more traffic, and I think some people take more of a chance than they used to be.
Ray's seen a lot of changes on the road, and he has a lot of stories to tell. He's been driving long enough to talk about going to Chicago on his 1918 Harley on gravel roads. But even with all those miles behind him, he's only been involved in one accident.
Well, I was in a slight accident. A fella hit the rear of my truck quite hard, but outside of that, I didn't have any.
You a pretty good driver?
Well, not as good as I used to be, I'll put it that way. 90 years makes a difference.
Hi, Ray. Happy birthday.
So with his 90th birthday, Ray decided to call it quits. Ray almost made it to retirement without being noticed, but last summer he was pulled over when his delivery truck had the wrong plates, and police just plain didn't believe the age on the license. Since then, he's been in the National Enquirer, the Globe, and he even got a call from a radio station in San Francisco. What do you think of all the notoriety?
Well, it's more than I've ever had in my lifetime.
In 90 years, Ray says he's never been sick, and he attributes that and his long career to just one thing. And his wife agrees.
I try to keep an even keel.
That is one thing. I've never seen him angry all the time I lived with him. And I think that is really the one thing. And he's never overeats. He's very temperate in his eating. He likes his little cigars. And he likes to have a little Jack Daniels occasionally. I think all that helps.
And although Ray doesn't plan to get into any trucks in his retirement, he's not worried about being bored. He claims his wife has plenty for him to do. Reporting from Wakarusa, I'm Deborah Dominy, NewsCenter 16.
And Jeff's back, and he's got some hoops for us.
Yes,
Jeff?
we do, Michael. Some outstanding performances tonight as the Irish women's basketball team opened the season at the Joy Center. The Purple Aces of Evansville University provided the opposition. And for a while, the Aces did quite well and hung in there. But some of the crowd who was on hand knew that the Irish would explode, and they did. Chrissy Davis, starting her 62nd consecutive game, that breaks Mary Beth Sheath's record. 15 points for Chrissy tonight. Karen Robinson, yeah, fairly good game. 26 points, 10 assists, 6 steals. Notre Dame cruises tonight at the Joy Center by the count of 83-65. The Notre Dame men's team awaits the invasion of the Hoosiers. IU finished second in the Maui Classic to Syracuse University. And the Irish know that this Hoosier team is going to be one that can score inside and outside.
It's a big game. I saw him play the other night against, I think it was Santa Clara. A very good ball team. I'm looking forward to playing them this year because I didn't get an opportunity to play against them last year.
Well, they're coming off a long road trip from, I think, Maui, and we're just looking to get a win. I mean, we're 2-2 right now, and it's going to be a tough game for us, but I think we'll be up for the challenge.
NBA action in Hartford, Miami, and Boston. Give and go. Bird to Brian Shaw to the Chief, Robert Parrish. Sherman Douglas on the break to Kevin Edwards, the former DePaul star, scores. And then it is Bird to Shaw to Parrish. Celtics cruise tonight in Hartford as they win at 118-101. Celtics with the win. Got some high school action. Cleo Kilgore and his Adams team taking on LaPorte. Good pass here. Jenny Rebecki to Tracy Pearson for 2. And it will be Janice Hendrickson coming back for LaPorte as she will stick the long jumper. But Adams prevails and wins tonight at Hadaway Shack 49-34. Coming up, another look at the 10-6 win at the LA Coliseum Saturday night. Stay tuned.
Farming has always been a hands-on kind of business, but the makers of Counter have changed that. Introducing new Counter Lock and Load, the outstanding performance of Counter in convenient returnable containers. When locked onto specially fitted John Deere Maximerge hopper boxes, each sealed container opens automatically. Just lock it on and it loads. Protect your crop, yourself, and the environment. New Counter Lock and Load.
We're blowing the lid off prices. Lewis Furniture, Benton Harbor, is going out of business. Everything must go to the bare walls. Save on famous name brands you know and trust. Save on living rooms, dining rooms, bedrooms, sleepers, recliners, and a huge selection of bedding. There's no better price than a going out of business price. So hurry in now for the savings of a lifetime. Bring cash, use your Visa or MasterCard. Easy credit terms available. Hurry to Lewis Furniture, 2197 Highway M139, Benton Harbor, Michigan, before we close our doors forever.
Young Herbert Hubbard went to the cupboard to find his poor stomach a snack. But when he got there, the cupboard was bare, so he went to stock up at Martin,
where he found Buyer's Choice cranberry juices, cranberry, cran raspberry, or cran apple, just $1 a bottle. $1 also buys 2 big boxes of crisp and delicious Scott Lad saltines. And stock up now on delicious Scott Lad chocolate chips, 69 cents a bag.
So when Herbert got back, he had a great snack because he stocked up at Martin's.
$59.79.99. 3 new menus at a great low price. $59.79.99.
Check it out. All our favorites have great low prices, like delicious soft taco supreme and our new great tasting nacho supreme. So run for the border.
$59.79.99. Taco Bell's done it again. Run for the border.
Notre Dame will have some well-deserved time off before preparing for Colorado in the 1991 Orange Bowl. The Irish returned from the coast last night with another great memory of victory over USC. It was fitting that the last play would be a great defensive effort. Chris Zorich gets the sack here, and USC is finished for the 8th consecutive year. The final was 10-6. A surprising but certainly pleasant performance by the defense.
We blitzed more and, tried to mix things up and got some pretty good pressure there, and that was critical. They completed a lot of passes, but I thought that, we did damage control on it.
We wanted to come into this game with the defense and kind of redeem ourselves from last week, with the loss to Penn State. So we came in cranked up and ready to play.
Here's the poll for this week. Colorado on top, but Georgia Tech is ahead of the Canes. BYU 4, and the Horns come in at number 5. Florida is number 6, then the Irish, Florida State, Washington, and Penn State. Selected teams down the stretch: Tennessee 12, Michigan is 13, Illinois 16, Iowa and USC is 21. Also in the poll, Michigan State 23, Buckeyes 25. Quickly, let's go to Madison Square Garden. Got some hockey action. John Akrodnik for the Rangers shoots and scores against Buffalo. 1-0 in favor of the Rangers. Bernie Nichols, right place, right time. And the Broadway Blues come through and win tonight as we check the score from Madison Square Garden. 5-zip Rangers. And that's it in sports.
All right, Jeff, thank you very much. Nice to have you back. And that is News Center 16 for today and tonight. We'll see you tomorrow.
Good night.
How can you tell when someone you love has a drug or alcohol problem? Look for warning signs like mood swings, paranoia, anger, lies, despair, missed work, money problems. If you or someone you love is in trouble with drugs or alcohol, Charter can help. We offer real solutions to your family's problems.
Call Charter Hospital of South Bend today.
Last year, J.D. Power & Associates ranked my Buick LeSabre the most trouble-free American car. This year, LeSabre is once again ranked most trouble-free. And to the competition who said, wait till next year, it is next year. Get the facts. Buick is better.
Now, for a limited time, get up to $3,000 factory cash back or 3.9% GMAC financing on select Buick models. But you must buy now. Test drive the most trouble-free American cars at your Better Buick dealer. Do it today.
WNDU, the